So good morning everybody, myself Acharya Vishwendra, and today I'm going to discuss a worksheet on power given to resistor. So here is an electrical circuit, resistance R, voltage source V, current I is flowing. First question is power given to the resistor as a function of I. So it's either I square R or either VI. Next question is power as a function of V, it's V square by R or V into I. Next is a graph between P and I. So if we assume R is constant, so we can say that power is equals to I square R. So here power is proportional to I square, so the graph will be a parabola. In the next question, we are being given a graph between P and I square. So R is here constant, so P is equals to I square into R. So I square we take as X, so P proportional to X, the graph will be a straight line. Next is the relation between power and R when current is constant. So we know that power is I square R, I is constant over here. So we can say that power will be proportional to R, so graph will be a straight line. Again, if we draw graph between power and V, here R is constant and we have to draw the graph between power and voltage. So power is V square by R is constant over here, so P proportional to V square, so graph will be parabola. Next is if we draw graph between P and V square for constant resistance, so we can say that P proportional to V square or proportional to X, so the graph again will be a straight line. In the next question, we are being given graph between P and R, so P is equal to V square by R, here V is constant. So V is constant, that means we need to use a formula that contains PR and V. So power is V square by R, so we can say that V is proportional to 1 by R, so graph will be a rectangular hyperbola. In the next case, if we draw graph between 1 by R, so we can say that power proportional to 1 by R or X, so the graph again will be a straight line. Next is graph between P and V when current is constant. So we know that power is equal to VI, so P proportional to V, so graph will be a straight line. In another question, graph between P and I when voltage is constant, again we'll use the same expression, so P proportional to I, graph will be a straight line. Then we have a question in which three different circuits are given, and corresponding to third element we have the greatest angle. As you can see over in the graph that theta 3 is greater than theta 2 greater than theta 1. So that means I3 is greater than I2 greater than I1, which is analysis for the graph of power versus voltage for three different elements. Now the question is I1 is, so I1 here is tan theta 1, I2 is tan theta 2, I3 is tan theta 3, and which one is greatest? So we can analyze from the slope that I3 is greatest. So you have seen that this is a worksheet program for optimal physics, which is you can say that an optimization tool to manage your preparation of cracking JEE and NEET, because cracking JEE and NEET is not only about physics, chemistry and maths, bio. It's about your mind-brain system, the efficiency of your mind-brain system, and your ability to perform under high pressure. As you must be knowing that in JEE or NEET there is a syllabus of about 6,000 A4 size pages, out of which only 25 to 30 page information is to be used in the exam. That means out of 200 page, only one page is relevant as per exam is concerned, which sounds to be having a probability of 0.5%. So the game here is your capability to retain information or to retain the neural patterns which you learned during studying the subject. Analyzing the subject, so either it's PCM or PCB, both have three subjects. As per NEET is concerned, there are about 79 chapters, and in those 79 chapters it is about 6,000 A4 size pages, and there is about 9,000 patterns and a total of about 50,000 questions that you need to practice in such a way that you are able to retain most of the questions during the exam. And for average rank, there is a scoring of 60 to 70% is enough for getting a government seat in a, you can say that for MBBS percentage is higher, but you can say that for BDS or BEMS or in any course for the government seat, 60 to 70% score is more than enough. And for that you can just fetch a seat in a government college for a good for a particular course. So let's start with the optimistic things, with the minimal thing that can enable you to get entry into a good government college where fees is less and infrastructure is good and there is a good probability of having a quality life. So for that 60 to 70% score is an optimal score. And optimal physics is about learning physics and developing the processes for performance in the exam, for cracking the exam. Because learning physics, chemistry, maths, bio is a different thing. You can learn your entire life, but cracking a competitive exam, focusing on certain specific patterns and repeating them again and again is a different task. So both of these are different, and optimal physics is just an optimization tool to optimize your time and energy for peak performance, or can say that for good performance in cracking the exam. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you and have a nice day.